How's it going? This is Gabe again with another Mopar update that I rarely ever do on this channel. Sometimes, just sometimes. So, this is the 1971 Plymouth Satellite back again in the warehouse and to stay this time. If you remember the red Barracuda I've been posting about lately, I decided to finally trade it for this guy. Now, yeah, the Barracuda was a Formula S, but it had a lot more structural issues than I was willing to care for long term, and it's a good car. Good motor, 318 had swapped in, Magnum. But alas, this boat is back. Very excited to get back to it, working on everything, literally picking up exactly where I left off. The last owner did absolutely nothing to this car other than keeping it in his garage, protected out of the elements, which was awesome. Over the past year, almost year and a half, I don't know. Anyways, this is a 360 I had swapped in here. Magnum as well. I've done probably at least 11 of these swaps. And I love doing them every single time. They're great engines for not too much money you could spend on converting them to carbureted, make it simple, and swapping it into your ride. So, current things that I've been working on right now since I got this back. Installed KYB gas adjust shocks. The last ones were completely garbage. And let's see what else. Today just swapped out the power steering pump for another one because the other one was worn out and leaking pretty bad. Got my new grill, blacked it out. It's just sitting in there for right now. Gotta get some hardware and get it all attached. But just mostly I'm working on getting more parts here to get this guy back on the road, running and driving. I'm going to be working on the Mopar Superstock leaf spring swap in the back next week. These are 100% shot. You got the raised shackles back there to get any lift, barely any lift out of the back end. There's my dual exhaust setup. That sounds really sick out of these headers. These are some racing headers as well, ceramic coated. I think this is like a third pair I've installed, maybe a fourth. But they're awesome. Flow good, sound good. A lot better in the B body versus an A body. I still installed a shifter, hammer shifter. I probably could have got by with column shifter, but I lost some of my linkage and, well, already had bought this. So that's all installed, ready to go. Looks awesome in the car. Gotta chase down some electrical problems. My current wiring theory, and I'm actually getting better at this, I had to throw in a painless wiring harness in my primer 73 Plymouth tester, because that wiring harness, the original, was pretty much junk. So what's going on with this car is the headlight switch mostly, and also there's no brake light switch. The gasket around this windshield has gone out, and water got in, ate the floor pan. They had to replace that floor pan. My buddy I got this from 2 years ago. And it got so bad on the dimmer switch, it caused resistance on the 3-prong wire connector that goes right on in. And, eventually started shorting out over time. And that basically toasted a couple terminals at the headlight bolt connector and also the connector over at the dimmer switch on the floor. So I'm going to be dropping the column and taking the instrument cluster panel out and fixing that. So we got headlights in the front, I do have taillights working. Turn signals do work. So yeah, there's that. I might be replacing these seats with some other new seats that I bought a long time ago, because these have seen better days. But I'm very excited to have this thing back and keep on working on it. Get it running and driving once again. And have fun with it. Has a slide calipers, whatever you call them. There's like 3 types. There's a Calcier 4-piston, a single piston with a slider, and the 2 slide pins, which I think they mostly used on B-bodies because that's the first I've ever seen. And then we also got the 8 1/4 rear axle with 2.71 gears. Better than Hunter's last satellite. His had 245s, and his was a 383 big block car, and this one was a factory small block car, 318. Shoes are 100% done. I'm going through all this too. Those are thin. Thankfully no grooves in the drums. I might just get those turned anyways. There's some body stuff that needs to be dealt with. I do have a patch panel for this section 1/4. Extra couple fenders and door, other stuff along those lines. So I'll have yet to 100% decide when I'm going to be painting this car, but I'm kind of thinking a midnight blue would be pretty cool. Also toyed with the idea of going back to the original factory color Curious Yellow. I think that would look, decent. Just painted decently. So, yeah, and then this is the current state of the warehouse. We got some shelves up finally. Still got to work on getting stuff finished in here, but it will happen eventually. So there it is, the 1971 Plymouth Satellite with a 360 Magnum swap. Rebuilt 904 with a brand new TCI torque converter. A little bit higher stall than stock. Yeah, definitely going to be posting updates about this car more often, so there's that. Mopar, no car.